So dear students, I am Santan, working as a physics faculty in Target English Medium School. Today in this video, I would like to teach or explain about what are the characteristics or parameters of sound from the chapter of sound in 8th standard level. So let me come to our topic directly. But before going to that, in our previous video, we are clearly discussing about what is the velocity of sound or speed of sound, how we can find velocity of sound, okay, and what is the speed of the sound in the different mediums like in solids, liquids and gases. And finally, I hope every student will be understanding the velocity of the sound is maximum in solids, moderate in liquids and less in the gases. That is very clearly. And also we are discussing one more topic also, that is the relation between temperature and velocity of the sound. If the temperature is increases, velocity of the sound is also increases. What is the reason? It's nothing but if the temperature is increases, the kinetic energy of the particles is also increases. According to the kinetic theory of matter or kinetic theory of gases, if the temperature is increases, kinetic energy of the particles are increases, but the mass of the particle is constant. That's why velocity is increases. If the velocity increases, so due to that, what you can write, if temperature is increases, velocity of the particles is also increases. Is nothing but the particles are carrying the sound energy very fastly when increasing the temperature. If the temperature decreases, velocity of the sound is also decreases because of kinetic energy of the particles is decreases. And also, if the temperature changes, okay, velocity is also changes. Discussing that. But how much velocity of the sound is increases or change? How we can find? I say one formula is there. V is equals to 331.4 meter per second plus 0.6 meter per second into T of C. 331.4, that is the temperature of velocity of the sound at 0 degrees Celsius. 0.6 is represented for every 1 degree Celsius temperature. Okay, the velocity of the sound is increases to 0.6 meters per second. Now let that one. Okay. Parameters are characteristics of sound. It is very important for the 1 mark or 2 mark or bit purposes. In any one of the manner, they must be asking any one question or any one thing from this concept only. So generally, the sound are having how many parameters or characteristics, means mainly 3 parameters are there. First one is the pitch, second one loudness, third one is quality or timbre. So how many parameters or characteristics of sound are there? So totally 3 are there. First one is the pitch, second one is the loudness and third one is the quality or timbre. But among these 3, pitch and loudness is the major thing. Just quality is different between the 2 musical instruments about the pitch and loudness. Anyway, now we are discussing step by step what is the pitch, what is the loudness and what is the quality or timbre, and how is these characteristics or parameters of sound is depend upon the any other terms related to the sound or not. The topics we are discussing in this time. First one is the pitch. the shrillness or whistleness of a sound is called pitch. But directly you are not understanding what is the pitch. That's why just I will give some examples to you to understanding. A crying baby or infant baby. A crying infant baby pitch is higher than a crying man. Is it correct or not? So a crying baby or a crying infant baby pitch is higher than a crying man. So here you are observing that infant baby is crying and man is also crying. Both are crying. But in this one, so which is the higher frequency? Means infant baby have the more pitch than the man. How we can say? Means here simply means, okay, for understanding of that, if the pitch is more, it is cause the, okay, noise or irritation. If the pitch is less, it is not causes the noise or irritation simply. So if an infant baby or a baby will start the crying, so you are not able to listen for a long time, even small interval of time also. So immediately when the infant baby start the crying, so your mind is irritated. That's why it's nothing but its frequency. Means the frequency of that sound is more. Like the same way, another one. If the men start the crying, so you are observing that in that one, so you don't feel any irritation. You feel some sympathy only. So means here, what is the differences? In case of crying baby, why you are irritated, but in case of men, why you are not irritated? Because of, so the crying baby, will, okay, during the crying of a baby, so it produces the sound. The sound has the higher pitch than the men. That's why pitch is the more, it is cause the irritation, simply for understanding of you. Like the same way, okay. So the buzzing sound of a mosquito has higher pitch than the roaring of a lion. So I says that. Means, so the mosquito means the shrillness of mosquito or the buzzing sound is made by the honeybee or mosquito. You know that sometimes the mosquito will becomes near to our ear and make the noise or sound, okay, sound. Okay, when you are hear that sound, you are irritated or not? But if the lion will be start the roaring, in case of a roaring of a lion, so you don't irritated, but you are fear. That is the difference. In case of, okay, mosquito, you are irritated, but not the fear. So means here you are observing that our concept is what is that one? Irritation simply. Pitch is more irritation. It is created the more irritation. If pitch of the sound is less, it is created the lesser one. So that is the way. That's why. So here I will tell the two examples. This one, a crying baby has more higher pitch than the crying man. So the buzzing sound or the shrillness of a mosquito or the buzzing sound of a honeybee is, okay, higher pitch than the roaring of a lion. Like this type of one. Or one more thing is also the woman crying. A woman voice has higher pitch than the man voice. You are observing that in your home or in your surroundings, in your daily life. So the men are produce the loud voice and the women are produce the coarse voice. That's why. So when you are hear that one during the conversation or during the fighting with other one, so at that time you are observing that. So when the women are fighting or conversing, okay, or argued with other one, at that time their voice is, okay, irritated. But in case of men's argument or men's conversation, that is not irritated, but that voice is loud only. That's why women's voice has the higher pitch than the men's voice. Totally, how many examples I say that here? Okay, mainly, here I will tell the three examples. The first one is a crying baby has a higher pitch than the crying man. Second one, a woman's voice has higher pitch than the man's voice. Third one, okay, a buzzing sound of a honeybee has higher pitch than the roaring of a lion. So these are the best examples to understand what is the pitch. That's why the shrillness or whistleness of a sound is called pitch. continue for this one. Sorry. Pitch is depend on the frequency. It is very important for which purpose. Pitch is depend on the frequency. How we can say that? So generally, okay, to measure the frequency of a sound, we are using the mainly 2 meters. In the nowadays, we are using the frequency meter. In the olden days, we are using the stroboscope. Two are there. So frequency meter are stroboscope. By using that one, you can find the So our digital multimeter is also there. In the digital multimeter, you put the one knob is at the which one frequency hedges place. Means we can keep 2 ports are there. One is the common, another one is the right portion is there. So after keep the 2 knobs black and red in that properly. So after that, so in the one regulator is there. In the regulator, we can keep into the hedges and it is connected to the any audio frequency, audio simulator. Then it is shows the how much frequency is produced. That's why if a chord sound will be coming from the audio, the frequency is more. If the loud sound will be coming, the frequency is less. That is one is there. So means simply unpleasant sound is causes for the which one higher frequency. Pleasant sound is causes for has the lower frequency. Unpleasant sound has higher frequency. Pleasant sound has the lower frequency. But now we come to that one. So pitch is depend upon the which one frequency. So the frequency is measured by using the frequency meter or stroboscope. That is the olden one. In the nowadays you are using the frequency meter or digital multimeter also. But how the pitch is depend upon the frequency? Pitch is higher, frequency is also higher. Is nothing but if the pitch is more, frequency is also more. If pitch is less, frequency is also less. Is nothing but pitch is directly proportional to the which one frequency. That is the meaning of that. So pitch is increases, frequency is also increases. If pitch is decreased, frequency is also decreased. Simply, pitch is higher, frequency is also higher. If pitch is lower, frequency is also lower. That is also you can write about. Now here, so I will tell one example. So here, just you can say that after 1 second, distance is limited. You can it out this one. So here, you are observing the 2 diagrams. It is the woman's voice pitch. It is the woman's voice is the men voice. You are observing that. So the scientists are, or the physicists are, measure the pitch of the woman and men's voice at that time. For 1 second, the woman's voice will be this much of frequency is there. For the men's is there. Frequency means you know that the number of vibrations produced by a vibrating body in 1 second. For 1 second here up to here is there. Now we can consider that. From here to here 1. We know that. Half frequency of 1. Up to here 1. Next 2, 3, 4. 4 off. That's why 4.5 Hz. This is the frequency of the which one? Woman's voice. Next, in case of men, here up to here 1, 2. That's right, 2 Hz. This is the frequency of the men. Now here you are observing that. Okay, so the woman's voice has the more frequency and the men's voice has the less frequency. So that's why generally the woman's voice is coarse, the men's voice is loud. That is, you know that. So woman's voice has higher pitch than the men's voice because of pitch is dependent upon the frequency. If pitch is more, frequency is also more. Your frequency is more means what is the meaning? Okay, woman's voice has the more pitch. If here pitch is frequency is less means pitch is also less. It's nothing but men's voice has the lower pitch than the woman. Next, second one is loudness. What is the loudness? In acoustics, acoustic is nothing but about the sound related. Acoustic. So, the perception of sound energy or sound pressure on our ear is called loudness. So, in acoustics, okay, the perception of subjective sound pressure on ear is called loudness. So listen, in acoustic is nothing but the branch of the science which deals about the sound related concept, that is called acoustic. In acoustic, okay, according to that one, the loudness we can explain very easily. That is the perception of subjective sound pressure on ear is called subjective is nothing but object. So the object is produced how much sound, that sound pressure means so the sound is after reaches to our ear, on our ear it will be produced how much the pressure, that is called loudness. So what are the examples for loudness before going to some more explanation? The first one simply, roaring of lion has more loudness than the barking of a dog. We know that. So we consider that how many two animals. One is the lion, another one is the dog. So lion is roar, dog is a barking. That's why you are observing that. Okay. So first initially a dog is barking. If during the barking of a dog, so this loudness will be reached how much one insert. Okay. Up to 100 meters only. After the 100 meters, so what will happen? The person, those are after the 100 meters, they are not able to listen that sound. But in case of a roaring of a lion, it is goes to nearly up to 300 or 400 or 500 meters also. So it's nothing but here you are observing that. So means so the sound energy or sound pressure will be travel. Okay, from object to up to certain long distance is nothing but the roaring of the lion has the more loudness than the which one? Okay, barking of a dog. Men voice has a higher loudness than the which one? Women's voice. Men's voice has more loudness than the women's voice. So simply two examples. Roaring of lion has more loudness than the barking of a dog. Men's voice has more men's voice have more loudness than the barking women's voice. These two are the best example to understanding that. But in this one, to understanding one more concept is also there, that is the intensity of sound. What is the intensity of sound means? The sound the sound energy is occupied how much area in a unit time, that is called intensity of sound. Listen very carefully. The sound pressure or sound energy is occupied how much unit area in a time, that is called so intensity of the sound. If loudness is more, intensity of the sound is also more. That's why in case of a roaring of a lion, what will happen? So the roaring of a lion is during if the lion is roared, what will happen? It is travel more distance, and in all it is occupies the more surrounding area up to certain long distance. Is nothing but so during the roaring of a lion, the sound energy produced from the lion, it is travel more distance in the unit time. But in the barking of a dog, it is only 100 meters. That's why means that in the 100-meter radius only, just you can say that in the 100-meter radius only, what will be happen? So the sound will be reaches during the barking of a dog. But in case of a roar of a lion, so it will be reaches up to the 500 meters of the radius. That's why so the intensity of the sound produced by the lion is more than the barking of a dog. So how many examples I tell? First one is roaring of a lion has more loudness than the barking of a dog. Second one, men's voice has more loudness than the women's voice. So in this one, some important things we discuss in that. Loudness is depends on the amplitude. It is also very important. So pitch is depend on the frequency, loudness is depend on the amplitude. So if loudness is more, amplitude is also more. If loudness is less, amplitude is also less. Just for observing the men and women's voice only. It is the men voice, here women voice, we can say that. So here we know that amplitude is nothing but the maximum displacement of a vibrating particle from its mean position. It is the mean position is nothing but direction of the wave from this one. It is the amplitude. So here this is the amplitude of the mass. So generally frequency is more means amplitude is automatically less. If amplitude is more, then what will happen? So means energy will be traveled for long distance. So listen, if the frequency is more, then what will happen? It is covered the less distance. If the amplitude is more for only one wave, means if the amplitude is less for only one wave, it is covered the lesser distance. If the amplitude is more, it covered the more distance. We know that the distance between the two successive crests or two successive trough is called wavelength. Here, this is the wavelength traveled by the men voice. Now here, this is the crest. It is also crest. This is also lambda. Here, among these two, you are observing that here wavelength is more. Here wavelength is less because of here frequency is more. Here frequency is less. That is the reason of that one. So this graphical representation represented by the men voice, it has the more amplitude, it has the less amplitude only. That's why men voice has more loudness than the women voice. Listen very carefully. Amplitude, loudness is increased, amplitude is also increased. Loudness is decreased, amplitude is also decreases. These two are directly proportional. And what are the units of loudness? It is the important also. So two units are there mainly. Okay, first one is decibel. Simply we can write as T of B. Second one is fun based on the intensity of the sound. Okay, so units of the loudness are two are there. Mainly the loudness is measured by using the decibels. Some are cases sounds like different one is there. Another one is the fun. These two are the units of loudness. Now we are discussing that some important values about the loudness. Measured in decibels. Zero decibels, human hearing threshold sound. Human hearing threshold is nothing but the minimum. Actually, 0 decibels is nothing but we can't hear any sound. That is the meaning of that. But for the our convenient way, what will be happen means, so 0 decibels we are called human hearing threshold sound. Threshold is nothing but the minimum loudness of the sound. Okay, that is the way of that. 20 decibel rustling leaves. So when you are moving, walking on the leaves, it produce some sound. That is the rustling of leaves. Or in some cases, the leaves will be fall. With making by sound. That is like that type of one. So 40 decibels is quite library. In the library, sound is produced by taking the books. When you are taking the books in the library like that one. At that time, so how much sound is produced? 40 decibels. 60 decibel is normal conversation. Means during one person is talking with another one during their conversation. How much decibel? Generally 50 to 60, but average 60 decibels of sound. Next, 80 decibels. So 80 decibels are sound produced in traffic. traffic or sound produced from industrial. Next, sixth one, 100 decibels. A chainsaw. So we know that a chainsaw is there. So during cutting the trees like that, when you are using the chainsaw, that's chainsaw is producing how much decibels? 100 decibels. Decibels. In rock concert. So means during the musicians will be conduct a live program. In that one, how much sound is produced? 120 decibels. 140 decibels is a jet plane. A jet plane is produced 140 decibels. In rock concert, 120 decibels. Okay, a chainsaw 100 decibel. Sound produced by during the traffic 80. Normal conversation 60. Quiet library is 40. Rustling leaves is 20. And the threshold is 0 decibels. These are the some values about the loudness is measured in the decibel. These values are important for you for the part B. Is nothing but for bit paper. So sound is measured in decibels, and also another unit is fun is there. So loudness is depend upon the which one? Amplitude. And what is the intensity of the sound? I says that intensity of the sound is directly proportional to the amplitude square. Square of the amplitude is nothing but, so intensity of the sound is more, is nothing but amplitude is also more. That's why loudness is also more. That is the meaning of that. Next, the third one is quality or timbre. So, what is the quality of timbre means? It is one of the characteristics or parameter of the sound. With help of these characteristics, we can differentiate the music coming from the different instruments. Listen very carefully. It is the one of the characteristics of the sound. So by using the quality, we can differentiate or we can distinguish between the sounds of coming from the different musical instruments. For example, simple I say that. One person is playing guitar, another person is playing drums. So now this one, drum is one type of musical instrument, guitar is also one type of instrument. Or for example, two string instrument we can say that. One person is play the guitar, another person is play the sarod or veena. We can say that. So means the sound is reaches to your ear at it simultaneously coming from the guitar and sarod, but you are observing that the quality is different. That's why based on that quality, so from this side which sound is coming from the guitar and this side sound is coming from the sarod, we can easily identify. That is the use of the quality. So quality is one of the characteristics. With help of this quality, we can identify the difference between the or distinguish between the sound coming from the different musical instrument. So once again listen, how many characteristics or parameters will be having the sound? Mainly three: pitch, loudness and quality. Pitch is nothing but the stillness or whistleness of sound is called pitch. Pitch is dependent on the frequency. If pitch is higher, frequency is also more. If pitch is less, frequency is also less. So a crying baby pitch has more than the men crying or adult crying. A woman's voice has more pitch than the man's voice. Next one. So buzzing sound of a honeybee has more pitch than the roaring of a lion. These are the one. So generally pitch is measured by using the frequency meter. or stereoscope or digital multimeter, like that one. Next, loudness. So according to the acoustics, the perception of subjective sound pressure on the ear is called, what is it known? Loudness. Loudness is depend on the amplitude. Amplitude is depend upon the intensity. Intensity of the sound is nothing but the sound pressure is occupied how much area, or the sound pressure will be located how much area in a unit time, that is called intensity of the sound. Intensity of the sound is always directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. So loudness is higher, amplitude is also higher. Loudness is lower, amplitude is also lower or less is there. What is the units of the loudness? The loudness are measured mainly in the decibels, and also fun is also there. Okay, so and also discuss some important decibel values. Next and finally, quality. What is the quality? Quality is nothing but it is one of the important characteristics of the sound. With help of the quality concept, so you can easily identify the distinguish or difference between the two musical notes or musical instruments. That is the quality. So this is a brief idea about the characteristics or parameters of the sound. Thank you.